How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be watching Aussies are turning to side hustles for extra income. This channel for me is a side hustle. Just seeing how it goes. See if I can make some dollars off it. If you guys are new here, just watch some videos, react to them, comment to them. And, if you have watched a couple of videos before and you're not subscribed, you might as well subscribe. As always, the video is linked below. Let's get into this one.
Welcome back. Well, more and more Australians are turning to side hustles to make some extra cash as they struggle to cope with the cost of living.
Like betting on Queensland tonight.
That would lose you money.
So is it really worth it all, the side hustle? For more, we're joined by finance expert Kenna Campbell. Kenna, good morning to you. Nice to see you this morning on this Origin Day. What's different about side hustles in 2025 compared to the past?
Well, with so many Australians working remotely and working flexible hours, there has never been a better time than now to have a side hustle because you can build it around your lifestyle, particularly with the low barrier to entry.
Okay, we're looking at some of the positives there. Extra income can be obviously a huge help as yours.
I think the main benefit from side hustles, and we'll get into this on another video as well after this one, is you're able to protect yourself, I guess is the word. Protect yourself from being unemployed, right? So if you get unemployed, get fired or whatever, you are not completely dead in the water. You got no income. If you have built up a side hustle, whether it's online or using your current skills, whether it's being a tradie or you're a tech employee or a graphic designer or whatever, and doing your own little side projects, that then is a good way to protect yourself from being unemployed. So when you get fired, if you get fired, especially with how the economy's going, it's very rough, and it sort of seems to me that it's slowing down a little bit. Comment down below your experiences with that. If you get fired, you are not completely drained of any income coming in.
Saying a lot of people picking up extra jobs, but there are other ways to do it?
Yeah, so there's been a bit of a trend. So the classics like dog walking, house sitting, babysitting, they're still strong. But there's been a real shift in the way that people are getting savvy with their side hustles and monetizing them. And they're leveraging off their skills, their interests, their passions, their hobbies, but doing so in a remote way. So we're seeing online fashion advice, online makeup courses, we're seeing social media content creation, digital art. It's no longer just about earning some extra money from a side hustle. It's about building a community, networking, and having fun.
So you can make money by giving people fashion advice on Instagram.
Absolutely. And particularly right now with the cost of living crisis, that extra money can help pay for food, fuel, kids' expenses. It can also help alleviate financial stress, help pay down debt, even in some cases supplement retirement income. In fact, I'd even go as far as saying the money that you can make, that extra money from a side hustle, can be the difference between barely hanging in there to being ahead of the game and back in the driving seat.
The side hustle moving furniture inside the Today Show.
That's a great point. And I think it's easier now more than ever, especially with online. If you can use a computer, if you can use your phone even, you can really boost your income by learning skills online. And, when you only work 8 hours a day and then you have 8 hours, roughly before you go to bed, let's say you sleep 8 hours, so, you have an extra 8 hours. And a lot of people my age, for example, are on TikTok for like 3 hours a day, right? So if you, instead of doing 3 hours of TikTok, you do 3 hours of building a side hustle, it's an easy way to make money. And yeah, especially when food prices are so expensive, house prices are so expensive, mortgages are so expensive if you have one, it's a quick and easy way to get back into, as she said, the driver's seat and actually taking control of your life again.
Studio, as I was thinking,
And
we
not
just lost
dropping
someone. Everyone thinks it's kind of easy on social media to make money. That it's not, and it takes a lot of time. Is the money worth it?
Most definitely. And there are some things that you need to actually go and check. So look at your contract with your employer. Some employers aren't fans of side hustles, particularly if there's a conflict of interest. You also need to think about your tax responsibilities because you are...
Just don't tell your employer about it. Just do it a little bit, sneakily. Obviously, if you get found out about it and they don't like it, then that's a big problem. But make sure by that time, if they find out about it, it's enough to replace your income. I guess that's my advice on that one.
Taxed. So I recommend having a separate savings account for that tax money so that you don't sell yourself short. Then think about protection. Do you need to get contracts? What are the rates you're going to charge? Do you need to take out insurance? And then think about, is this side hustle sustainable? The last thing you want is burnout.
Oh, everything you described there says to me, this just seems like too much of a hassle to even bother getting started.
No, you're wrong. This really does
Yeah,
make
you're wrong,
a
Jay.
It can be. It obviously can be. Like, if you're not really in the need for the money, you're like just your simple life that you're living, just live the simple life. But if you're not able to afford certain essential items, then you need to, like, at the end of the day, the only way out is working more, or you become the working homeless and you start sleeping in your car. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it's only necessary if you need to, and especially with online, like it's not guaranteed to make you money in, let's say a week or so. It might take you a month, it might take you 2 months before you're actually seeing any money come in, and that's the other problem. If there's a lot of upfront costs associated with getting your side hustle up and running, is it worth it? And I think people need to really sit down and think about it a bit. But if it is worth it and you have the time and you're willing to put the effort in, you might as well do it, right?
But you've got to worry about the tax. You've got to worry about all the other things you mentioned.
It's the value that it can bring back in your life. It gives you options again and
Okay.
helps get your head above water. And anyone that's thinking of a side hustle, I recommend they think about what type of advice do people ask me, and how can I help people? Because then you have a skill and a demand. Jump online, Airtasker, Seek, Upwork, Fiverr. There are so many casual and freelance jobs that are remote. So there is an opportunity out there. The best advice is stop wasting time.
Get into it.
Procrastination is the thief. So hit the ground running. You never know where this is going to take you.
Yeah, exactly right. And I guess the biggest risk that you can take is not taking any risk. If you just want to be comfortable in life, that's good for you. But if you are thinking of taking a risk and getting into something, then just go ahead and do it. Like, give it a shot. Now we're going to watch this video.
I got fired this morning from a company I have been working at for the last 8.
And this sort of proves the point of why side hustles are important. We're going to be talking about people getting fired. It's mainly Americans again, but it relates to the point of side hustles are extremely important, especially in this economy.
Years. I've had the same boss for the last 8 years, and yeah, it happened this morning. 9 a.m. I had a meeting booked with my boss. Our HR business partner immediately joins the call. They tell me that due to restructuring, they have to make hard decisions, and they have decided after review at all leadership levels that my job will be terminated. This came as a massive shock. There was no performance improvement plan. There was no conversation.
Job market actually sucks a lot.
And that's the problem. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been at a company for, if they need to, make the hard choices and cut people's hours, cut people's jobs, they're going to make those decisions, because at the end of the day, they're there to look after themselves. They're there to make money. They're there to be greedy. And it's not necessarily all about being greedy. It's just, that's the way it is. And that's what they're going to do. So they're going to do it. So yeah, having a side hustle, having that backing that you can fall back onto is definitely something great. And, eventually you could build it up to something that could actually replace your income, or really actually get you ahead in terms of being able to actually save for a house deposit, which, is extremely hard in today's economy. But there's plenty of people that have just started side hustles that maybe only took them a couple hours a week and then grew into a massive business, whether that's like a retail online shopping thing or memberships, YouTube. Plenty of people make money off social media. It's a great way to get into it.
I mean, this guy, 2 years post-graduation, can't get a single job or internship. It sucks. Graduated back in 2022 with a degree in business management. Really isn't that bad. had no experience in the field, only worked as a driver for prescription medicine, have applied to hundreds of thousands of jobs with no luck, perfected their resume numerous times, done the whole Indeed and LinkedIn stuff, and basically feel extremely demoralized. It's not just him, but every single person is experiencing the same exact thing. In fact, the job market is so bad.
I will say in Australia, the job market's pretty strong at the moment. It does seem to be slowing a little bit, but at the same time, potentially that's just this weird in between position between end of financial year and whatnot. But yeah, most people that I know that have got a uni degree after 2 years, they usually would have a job, which is good. In America, that's a really shit situation to be in. You know, not having a job after 2 years, especially since their student loans are not the same as ours. Like with Hex, you just get paid. It comes out when you start making a certain amount of money. So that's the good thing about here in Australia. But yeah, like if he was at uni and he had a side hustle going, then it wouldn't matter too much whether or not he got a job. Obviously, it would matter, but you could tailor your life around the money that you could make from a side hustle while you're, trying to get a job.
Even trying to get an Amazon warehouse job is kind of difficult. He's talking about can't get an internship. Everyone is wanting an internship, even though those internships don't even pay you anything or pay you like poverty wages. Can't get a single job. You got thousands of people applying to one single position. It's actually kind of crazy. Even the company LinkedIn, the company that helps you connect and find a job, is firing people. It's not because you're not talented enough. It's because of high interest rates. Loans are so expensive, companies no longer want to expand. Inflation is so high, companies want to cut back on cost. And also the tariff war is making the economic outlook not really so great. I mean, 2025, 150 tech companies fired a little over 72,000 workers, and most of these tech companies aren't really hiring people back either. And even basic jobs, when I get a job at Starbucks, is actually kind of rough. I got friends who are trying to just get a retail job, and they say it's actually kind of hard, let alone a real job that pays you a real living wage. The situation sucks. We're honestly in one of the worst job markets in America's history, and with so many people struggling to find work, it's not really going to look so great for the economy. Check out some of these videos.
I need y'all to be so real with me. Is it even possible to get jobs right now? It's been almost 4 months now. I'm rigorously applying to jobs. I am overqualified for half the jobs I'm applying for, and I'm not even getting emails back. I'm not even getting confirmation that these people have even looked at my resume. If you work in HR or
I will say that's the hardest part. I'm looking for a new job always, seeing what else is out there, and you apply for these jobs. You're definitely I'm definitely qualified for these jobs, and there's no email back. There's no reason why you're not getting contacted. Where you're just purely not the first person to send their resume in. Like, was that all it was? Or is there someone more experienced than you? It is frustrating not getting any sort of response. And to get a job, it's tough, right? Like, you have like at least 60 people applying for the same job. Like, your odds are pretty low. I will say that they're pretty low.
we're in the hiring process at your job, please let us know in the comments what we can do or what you're looking for. I'm somebody who has a full-blown degree, several years of experience. I've been working in really high value jobs since like 2018. Genuinely feels like if you're applying for jobs, you're basically just applying to win the lottery. It's so defeating. It feels like you're constantly being told that you're not good enough, and there's never a conversation about what made you not a fit for the role. Instead, it's just AI generated emails that probably hundreds of people are receiving. I used to think that the only way to get jobs was to have connections and know people who already work at the jobs you're applying for, but even that is not true. Let me know if you have any advice, and I doubt this is the last I'll be talking about this, so follow for more.
This morning at 8 a.m., I got a last-minute meeting invite titled Business Update with my whole team, my manager, my manager's manager, and someone from HR. So I think we're all about to be laid off.
As a result, your position on the web support team will be eliminated effective today, Monday, June 3rd, 2024.
Isn't that cooked? No notice at all. You're done.
Please understand that this is a business decision to eliminate this role and your role specifically, as it reflects the change and the need for this service that Microsoft will be providing.
So I guess I'm a full-time influencer now. I've been working at Microsoft for the last 2.5 years, supporting the online store, and I'm also about to graduate with a bachelor's degree in digital marketing in 2 weeks. So this is definitely an interesting transition for me. This definitely isn't.
See, at least when he got fired, he had the social media thing to fall back on. Even though, he's studying, had a job, and was doing social media. There's no excuse for people not having enough time to do these things if they really want to. Obviously, some people don't need to do it. Great for them. Like, I wish we could all be in that situation. However, a lot of people need to be working or studying 3 different things, like study in 2 jobs to just get ahead, stay ahead, keep their head above water. And it's a good backup, as I've said multiple times.
How I wanted to start Pride Month, but I've been expecting this to happen eventually, so I'm not as sad as I probably should be. I am feeling a little bit of shock because I'm not sure what I should be doing, so follow me as I figure out how to cope with being unemployed and finding a new job.
And see, the worst thing you can do once you become unemployed is jump into a job that, is shit and isn't what you're looking for just because you need the money, right? So having a side hustle, once again, is a good way to give yourself time to breathe and think about what you need to do and where you're going. It's pretty vital, I think. I'm going to end this video, guys. If you have got a side hustle, make sure to let us know down below. If you had started a side hustle, now it's become a business, let us know what you did, how it went, would you recommend it, all those things in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.